folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. So one of the hardest things to do as a content creator or influencer is to keep ourselves accountable. And that's exactly what I did in this video here today. I went through my entire YouTube catalog and I picked out every video where I specifically mentioned a product and a specific price point. So any of my, top 5 videos, anything like that. And I pulled out every one of those products, the price point it was going for then, as well as that product now and the price point it's going for now. So we can actually see exactly how much you would have made or lost listening to Nostalgianomics videos over these past 14 months I've been here on YouTube. At the end of the video, I have all this data listed out in a spreadsheet so you can see it all for yourselves and kind of get an idea of what to take from the videos that I make here on YouTube. So the first video in is actually the first video I ever made on YouTube, and it was titled Time to Invest in Battle Styles. This was 14 months ago. So back then, Battle Styles was going for $78.99 a box. And my whole consensus was, hey, look, Steam Siege and Crimson Invasion were the first 2 sets of their eras. Even those sets moved over time. And so where Battle Styles is now, there's very little downside risk, and it's probably going to move over time because even if it's the worst set, the whole era does move over time. What we've seen now, Battle Styles is going for about $116 a box, so not the greatest play you could have made, but hey, you wouldn't have lost, you would have still made money. All right, next up was, I talked about the Celebrations Collector's Chests. Those were going for about $24.29, and I also talked about the Evolving Skies ETBs in this video, which were going for about $83 for the pair. So we fast forward to now, and again, this was about 14 months ago too, about February 25th of 2022. Fast forward to today, those ETBs are going for $155, $156 for the pair, which is almost 100% gain. And those Celebrations Collector's Chests are going for about $43. So again, a great gain on those as well. Next up, I talked about Evolving Skies booster boxes in this video about a year ago. They were going for $137.88, as well as Brilliant Stars booster boxes, which were going for $117.87. We all know that story. Evolving Skies, over $400, and Brilliant Stars, $146. It's had some reprints and some more supply hit the market. It's down a little bit, but again, you'd still have some sort of a gain over that time. So not the best play, definitely not the worst either. All right, next video up. Talk about Shining Fates. Now, I could play this video out for you and talk about the nuance of it, but basically my consensus was, hey, these might be the bottoming prices. They may take 6 months, a year, or more to move, but if you're wanting to be in this product, you may not see much lower of a price. So I wasn't talking about this for sort of a quick gain. It was going to be a long-term play, but again, it was at about $48.59 a box with volume. Now we're looking at the cases, $473. We're looking at the single boxes, about $46.88. You would have been down on this investment over a year. So it would have been dead money. You would have actually lost a couple dollars per ETB. So again, my bad. That was one of my misses. Next up is going to be the this video where I talked about, one, the Fates Collide pre-release kit. Fates Collide pre-release kit was going for about $33 back then if you bought in quantity. Fast forward to today, that kit is going for about $45. So pretty good gain. If you would have bought in quantity, you would have seen a pretty good gain overall. One of the other items I mentioned was the Evolving Skies Build and Battle Stadium. This came with like 2 Build and Battle kits, some packs, some other items. They were going for $50 back then. Fast forward a year later, that same product, it's selling for over $125. So with shipping, like $128. Over 150% return on your money in a year on that. Absolute home run. All right. Next up, I mentioned the cases of the Celebrations Collector's Chests. They were going for $250. Now they're going for about $340. So again, great gain you would have seen on those as well. Let's see. Going back a little further, I talked about the I talked about the Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes, because when you looked at the Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes compared to what the base set booster box prices were going, they were a little out of whack, and it made sense for the pack value to move into the Elite Trainer boxes. And I had the same consensus on the Sun and Moon base set ETBs. If we fast forward to now, those Sword and Shields, they went from around $35, $40 to over double to, in the 70s. What was this? About $65 a piece. You bought the pair. They're in the 70s for this box and the 50s for that box. So, almost 100% of your money. And then the Sun and Moon the same way. They were about $40 a box. Now they're going in the 60s regularly, over 50% on your money. So I would say that top 5 video was a pretty good success if you would have taken advantage of those plays. Next up, I mentioned the Sun and Moon ETBs again, buying them as a case. They were going for $410 If we look at what they were going for as a case now, it says 700, but realistically on eBay, they're going for like around the 640 range. So 640 from about 410 about a year ago, still not bad, about 50% or more on your money. I brought up the Fates Collide pre-release kits again in this video. They dropped a little more to $32. We all know that story again. They're going for about $46 now. So again, a great play you could have made on those. Going back a little farther. Oh yeah, I talked about the Pikachu V collection boxes from Celebrations. Those were going for $20.40 if you bought in volume back then. Those same boxes now, they're going for $42.85. So again, a 50% plus gain. And then the other two items on this video were the Sylveon V and the Charizard V collection box from Celebrations. You could have bought those as a pair for $41.85, so under $21 a piece. Those boxes now, we're seeing those sell for $32 and $39 a piece. So again, over 50%, almost 100% gain on the Charizard box. Great gain. So I say all 5 of those items in that video were a success as well. All right, moving on. This video was about 11 months ago, less than a year. Talk about the Arceus V-Box. You could have bought this straight off the PokemonCenter.com for $25. Now we see that same box going for $40. So you would have seen, over 50% gain on your money buying that box right at retail on PokemonCenter.com. Again, a great play in the last 11 months. I brought up the Brilliant Stars booster boxes again. At this time, they were going for $130, so a little more expensive, but still a great buy, I think. Obviously, they're going for $145 now, so you're a little up on your money. Not the greatest play, but you're not down either. Brought up Evolving Skies again. They were going for $170 at this point. I thought it was still a good buy. Obviously, we know that story. They're going for $400. It was a great buy. I did bring up Shining Fates again, just for the fact that, hey, $48, pretty cheap for a box. They're under retail. I don't see it going much lower. Maybe a long-term play. Again, we know how that turned out again. It is a long-term play. You'd have been about even, maybe a little down on your money to this day. So you might hold a little longer. And then the same goes for the Vivid Voltage ETBs. I had the same mindset. Hey, look, it's going to take a while for the supply to run out, but they may not go any lower than they are now. They may have seen all the drops. So if you did want to get in, you may be sitting on them for a while, but hey, it may be time to move in if you do want to own these items. Now, a case is going for about $423, so, you'd have been maybe a little up. You made a little bit of your money, so it's still not the best play. And then the last thing I brought up was, I believe it was, Darkness Ablaze ETBs. They were going for $30.60. So I was like, hey, they're not going to go much lower than this. It's about the seal or the price floor for ETBs we ever really see. So, again, long-term play, but it's a good price point. They're going for $315 now, so not much movement. Wouldn't have seen much gains on those either. So I say overall in this video, a lot of these plays were kind of lackluster. My bad on those. All right, next up is going to be, I recommended Brilliant Stars for the 3rd time. They were going for $116 at that point. We know how that ended. I did recommend these Evolution tins. So they were the V Heroes tins. They were, for the set of 3, they were $56.48 back then if you bought in volume. Now those same tins are going for, if you added the shipping, they're going for about $78. You can see they're selling for about $78. So about $78, that's a pretty good gain in the course of 10 months on a $57 buy, right? So you're talking about not quite 50%, but about 40% on your money, which I would say. Not bad. Next items up were, let me find it here. Pokemon Go, the infamous Pokemon Go. And Alex got completely wrong. I recommended those when they were $49 in ETB, so about $4.90 a case. And we know the story on those, $3.80 a case. Be over $100 down per case on those ETBs. I know, massive failure. I can take the L like a man. I messed up on that. Sorry. All right, moving on from there. Talk about the Boltund boxes and also these Pikachu V boxes. Basically what happened was those got so low, I said, hey, it's hard to even lose on these. It's probably a good buy just because the packs inside will eventually move up. So they were going for, Pikachu V were going for about $89 a case. But you could have bought them for less if you bought singly and just bought quantity. They were going for $13.93 per box. The Boltund boxes, let me see if I can find those. Just scrolling through here. I wish I could. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, the Boltund boxes were going for $13.31. So you're talking about like $80 a case or less or somewhat a little more. That's what you could have got into those for. If you fast forward to now, those cases are going for, or those boxes, about $16.95 for the Pikachu box and about $17.79 for the Boltund. Basically, on the cases on eBay, they're going for like anywhere from $90 to $100. you'd be up a little bit, not too much. They weren't the best plays, but I still think they have possibility in the future. But again, kind of lackluster. So this video, some of the items did really great. Some of the items pretty lackluster. Some of you would have got crushed on. So again, sorry for some of those plays. Next up, I threw this video in there. I talked about the Charizard UPC 4 months ago and said, I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. It's just a bunch of random packs thrown in a product with a bunch of random Charizard promos that don't really make sense. They don't have any really identity to this. And said it's not a good play. I wouldn't move into that. That's when they were going for $100. Right now, they're less than 100. They're not moving at all. So, you know, I kind of want to give myself some credit for telling people to not FOMO into this Charizard product just because it had Charizard on the cover. Will it move in the future? Will the supply eventually, you know, run out? Maybe. There might come a time where it might make sense to move into these. I still don't think now is the time. So here's what they're going for now. Again, $95, no movement. One of the last ones I talked about was the one-piece booster box. Now, these have seen a huge decrease recently because of a reprint, but they were going for over $300 a box. When I recommended these, I don't have the price point on here. It was just one of the videos in my closet I make, but they were going for $150. I actually left the links to them back then. Now, that same box is still selling for $229, okay? So you're still seeing about a 50% price increase. You were like 130% up on your money before the reprint, but the reprint knocked them down pretty good. You still would be doing pretty well on that one-piece investment. Last but not least, I had this video about 3 months ago. It was on Crown Zenith. I said, hey, I think the Crown Zenith ETBs are great. I think the set's great. I think they're going to run out pretty quickly. I would move into these and at $511 a case. 3 months later, they're going for $610 a case. So you're over 20% on your money in just about 3 months. So with all that being said, how would you have fared listening to all these videos over my 14-month YouTube career? Well, let's check it out. Here is the spreadsheet. All right, so I listed everything out in case value. So I took everything in terms of cases because I feel like if you're an investor, you probably want to have at least a case of an item you're moving into. You don't have to, you can be an investor / collector. You don't have to move in at these levels of investment, but I like to look at things in terms of cases or multiple cases. So here's Battle Styles, case price, the Celebrations Collector's Chest. Oh, and also if I mention a product twice, like Celebrations Collector's Chest or Brilliant Stars, I did add that in at each price point they were in each video, whether they be lower or higher. So you got Collector's Chest, the Evolving Skies ETBs case, you got the Evolving Skies booster box, the Brilliant Stars booster box, we have the Shining Fates case, Sun and Moon base, Sword and Shield base ETB cases, you have the Celebrations Collector's Chests, you have the Evolving Skies Build and Battle Stadiums, the Fates Collide pre-release kits, the Celebrations Collectors Collection Box, the Pikachu V Union case. We had these were the collection box were the Charizard and Sylveon boxes. You got the Fates Collide pre-release kits again, the Sun and Moon base set ETB case again, Arceus V box case. You had the Celebrations booster box case again, Evolving Skies booster box case again, Shining Fates case, Vivid Voltage case, Darkness Ablaze case. You got the Brilliant Stars booster box case for the third time, like I said. The V Heroes tin set. You had the Pokemon ETB case, the Pikachu V and Bolton V box cases, the One Piece booster box case. And how I took the case box and the One Piece, the cases are kind of all over the place. So I did take, to be fair, just the cost of the booster boxes times 12 in a case. And then last was the Crown Zenith ETB case. Now you can see most are, you'd have been up on your money. The Shining Fates, obviously down. Down here when I recommended Shining Fates, they were a little higher. So you've been down a little less, maybe not down. But obviously the big one was Pokemon Go. You'd have been down $110 per case. Again, I apologize about that one. With all that being said, all in, you would have been at $12,680 investment if you would have bought a case of everything I mentioned. You would now have a value of $19,580 with a gain of $6,900 and a percent gain of 54.4% over the 14 months I've been here on YouTube. I don't know if you pay attention to other investment strategies, but S&P, nowhere near that. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, nowhere near that. Pick the best hedge funds or best 401k funds you can find, you're nowhere near that. Real estate in the past 14 months, nowhere near that. You couldn't find these kind of gains anywhere else. Okay, so again, I know I'm going to have the trolls saying, well, you got to take out the shipping and the fees and the taxes. Guess what? You get taxed on anything as an investment. So we'll take taxes out of this, because if you sell your stocks and your 401k and take that out, or you sell real estate that's an investment at your personal property, you get taxed on that. If you sell, any fund and take the money out of the account, you get taxed on that. So taxes are, universal unless you do other things. Again, work with a certified financial advisor to kind of work around your tax situation and how to save money on taxes. I'm not going to get into that. But the shipping and fees, I made a video about this. It depends on where you sell. Do you sell on the big sites like eBay, TCG Player? Do you sell other places without fees or lower fees? Do you sell in person? Do you have to ship it or is it a local sale? I don't know all those things. I know a lot of people like to take, a general 15% based on eBay fees and shipping. Okay, that's fine. If you wanted to take 15% out of that, look, you're still at 40% gains, maybe a little less if you take the 15% out of this number and then do the math. So 40% gains over the course of 14 months. That's not too bad. This is investing in Pokemon product. And I've gotten stuff wrong. But over the course of 14 months, over the course of treating this like a mutual fund and buying into everything, yeah, you're going to have your lackluster, barely lost, barely won anything. You're going to have your bad ones like your Pokemon Go. You're also going to have your home runs like, Evolving Skies or some of these other things like Celebrations. So overall, you would have made almost 55% taking the taxes or taking the fees and shipping out, maybe 35 to 40% over the course of this 14 months. Listening to Nostalgianomics videos. So, I hope this at least helped me be a little more transparent, helped you give you a little bit of idea of where I'm coming from when I do make these videos on these products that I do see potential in, and I hope they continue to help everyone out there in the future. If they did, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this video. Also, I did get a new microphone. Let me know if the sound quality has been better in this video than previous ones. If not, I don't know, maybe I'm out of luck. If so, I'd like to hear that from you. Other than that, if you like this video, consider subscribing. I will be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.